Hi, my name is Alyssa Nelson and I'm with Knobmaster Physical Therapy. Today I'm going to be discussing some exercise options that we utilize when dealing with osteoporosis and osteopenia. In order to build bone density and to help minimize excessive bone loss, we must have impact into the bones themselves. So this requires some ground reaction force. So whether that's when we're walking, when we're stepping, we need that pressure from the ground up through our body with our body weight coming down in order to trigger our body that we need to develop that bone mass and maintain it. So some simple options, strength training is absolutely fantastic. That helps muscles, that helps us stay strong, helps us develop good balance and some training like that. However, it doesn't necessarily always trigger bone growth. So we're really going for those more high impact activities when doing this. Now, many of you may be thinking, I'm not gonna go run 2 miles, I'm not gonna do a 24-inch box jump, anything of that sort, which those are totally not necessary in order to create that force that we need. So one of the ways that we kind of measure how much ground reaction force you're getting with any activity is through a percentage of your body weight. So walking is actually 1.2 times your body weight. So you get a little extra ground reaction force just from the force of your feet hitting the ground. Great option for cardiovascular training, endurance, not necessarily the best option for building bone density, but can be helpful. Moving up from that, you have marching in place, which is even better than walking, which is about 1.5 times our body weight going through the ground. So just marching in place, if you don't have very much room, or maybe you're starting at a pretty low level, as long as you can march, obviously, if you need some balance or safety, keep a counter or something close to you that you can hold on to, that would be the next step. Running comes in next at about 2.6 times our body weight. Again, great option. You're getting a lot of impact. However, running is not necessarily functional for everyone, especially our older populations that usually tend to deal with this osteoporosis and osteopenia. Some actually great simple options for increasing bone mass. The first one being the heel drop. So this is where we're coming up on our toes and we're just dropping down into the ground. Very simple, very easy, coming up on the toes, coming down nice and controlled. Again, do this next to a counter, do this next to something you can hold on to, a rail. This actually produces about 3.6 times our body weight in force through our bones. So great option that requires minimal space, minimal equipment. If you want to make it even more, grab a couple weights and do the same thing. It's just gonna increase that force down through and perform that activity with a little more resistance, a little more challenge. Great option. We actually have stomping that comes in at 4.6 times your body weight. So it may sound a little ridiculous, but stomping around your house when you're mad or when you're angry at something or having fun, you're stomping, actually will build your bone density. So it's really just as simple as stomping on the ground, put on some music, dance, have some fun, or if you're just really mad one day and you want to get some anger out, go ahead and stomp around the house. Make as much noise as you can, but that is actually a very good way. It actually comes in pretty level with like just jumping, vertical jumping. So you don't have to be able to jump onto a box or do anything like that. As long as you can stomp, you can really increase your bone density. Again, with any of these activities, always make sure that you consult your physician first, especially if you already have a diagnosis of osteoporosis or osteopenia. Depending on where you're having those high areas of porous bone, these might not be appropriate for you, and we might need to start at a lower level. So always, if you have those diagnoses, please reach out to your physician first before starting an exercise program, or get a referral for PT and we can help guide you into a proper buildup and how to improve that. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to the clinic or check us out at knobpt.com.